represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild.
Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review. Today we're taking a look at another Marvel Legends figure, and it's Ant-Man from, well, the Ant-Man movie. I found this guy at Toys R Us on the south side of Indianapolis in Greenwood, and this is actually the first one I've seen on the shelf. I've seen some of the other figures like the Grim Reaper and Tiger Shark, and I've seen a lot of the Wasp figures, but I haven't seen any Ant-Man figures, so I don't know if he's just that popular or you just don't see a lot of him, which is weird because this is kind of his line. So I went ahead and picked him up, and he does come with some really cool accessories, which we will talk about here in a minute. And, you know, I did go see this movie last week, and, you know, I was kind of pushing it off, and I liked it. I really did like it. It had a lot of heart to the film, which was nice. It was a good movie, had some fun action to it. It wasn't as good as, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, per se, but it was definitely a fun film. So let's go ahead and take a look at this figure and start out with the packaging. Alright, so here we have Ant-Man in package. Once again, the same style box. We just have some different things going on up here. I really like the Ant-Man logo up there. I think that looks pretty cool. It's Ant-Man. There he is. He comes with an ant-ony. This is the Build-A-Figure that has the Age of Ultron in it, which is kind of weird to me, but that is what it is. And then he comes with a little version of himself and a little Yellow Jacket guy, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, definitely kind of fun stuff. Here's a close-up. Yeah, I like that logo. I think that looks really cool. There's an ant at the top, looking super sick. We have a picture on the side, and this is probably my biggest gripe. Really like that artwork. That mask is not that mask, which I will talk about, but this side has another picture of Ant-Man right there, about the same. Here's the back of the package. We get a picture of Ant-Man. There's a write-up. All the other figures in the line, and really about the only other one I like in the line is probably the Wasp figure, and I've come close to picking that one up. I still may, I don't know. And then there's the Build-A-Figure of Ultron, which I still find strange to be in this line, but again, what are you going to do? So just kind of a close-up here. If you want to pause and read that write-up, you can. There's Ant-Man. Here are all the other figures that come in this wave. There is Ultron. If I can get him. Yep, there he is. So yeah, there it is. That's the package. Let's go ahead and get Ant-Man out of box and see what we think. Alright, so here we have Ant-Man out of package, and first impressions, very, very good. I am liking the figure. This, of course, is the Scott Lang version of the character, which appears in the movie. We actually get Hank Pym also in the movie, who's the original Ant-Man and designs the Ant-Man suit. And yeah, so if you have not seen the movie, spoilers. Basically, and along the line of the comics too, Scott Lang is a reformed thief who ends up stealing the Ant-Man suit and becoming Ant-Man. Well, in the movie, Hank Pym kind of pushes that scenario on there because he's played by Michael Douglas, who's a little bit older. Great de-aging effects at the beginning of the film, by the way. I was blown away. But yeah, so this is it. He's got a lot of accessories. I do appreciate that. Looking at some of these pieces, of course, he's got the head for Ultron, which is creepy. I don't know if I want to build this figure or not. I really was not impressed by him too much from some of the other reviews, so I don't know. But I like all the ant accessories. He's got a little ant-ony. This is the ant that he flies around on in the movie, which is really, really cool. It's got kind of, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, it's kind of got a greenish hue to the black, which is kind of neat. And then he's got these little gold wings with all the really awesome detail. And I don't know, again, I don't know if it'll show, but they are translucent, but they're a thick translucent. You can see through them, but barely. But yeah, very, very cool. The only thing I wish that this had was I wish the wings were on ball joints so you can move those around. But it is what it is. I like that. I think that is pretty cool. Then he comes with these teeny tiny accessories. I mean, tiny. There is the Yellow Jacket, who's the principal bad guy in the movie. I mean, it's got pretty good detail for what it is. But oh my lord, they are so tiny, and there's no way these things are going to stand on their own. They're going to get lost in a box. I guarantee it. And here's the little teeny tiny version of Ant-Man. Let me see if I can get him to focus on this one and not the other one. So again, detail really, really nice on it. But he's just so tiny. But this one can ride the ant-ony, which is really cool. Let me go ahead and throw him on there. Come on, buddy. Let's ride ant-ony. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, that's cool. I like that. I think that's pretty darn awesome. That will definitely be on display riding the ant-ony. So that's pretty cool. The figure itself, paint, great. Sculpt, awesome. The joints are very solid. I mean, this is a typical figure that we get where he's got the ab crunch, he's got a ball joint on his head, he's got the shoulders, double jointed elbows, his wrists have movement, he's got articulation at the hip, which is cool, ball joints at the waist, there are swivels in the legs, double jointed knees, which is awesome. He does have some articulation in the foot, but it's more backward than it is forward, but he does have ankle pivot, which is really, really nice. And his legs are spread now. But yeah, I mean, overall, I really like the sculpt and the design. Really, really good. The only thing that bugs me is this mask. The fact that it's open like that. That's not what it was in the movie. It was closed up unless he was taking it off. And then you saw his whole face. So I wish he came with an alternate head that actually looked like it did in the movie. Maybe we'll get one, I don't know. But let's go ahead and take some closer shots at the figure and check out this really cool detail. Alright, so here we have the nice detail of this thing. I mean, I love the paint, the silver with the black brushing, the red eyes look good. I like all the sculpt around the earpieces and those little tiny antennas. Very, very cool. You get a lot of detail on the back of the head. All the pipes and parts, all the paint and detail on the back. I mean, you've heard Shartimus Prime talk about how there's a budget on these figures when he interviewed some of the designers out at San Diego Comic-Con, but this guy, I think, ate up most of the budget. They did a hell of a job. It's just a shame that they put the wrong head on there. I just don't get it. This must be a reworked sculpt from something, and I don't know what it is exactly. But yeah, all the red details on the chest and on the back, around on the arms. I mean, this guy really comes out well. It looks good. It feels good. It's nice and solid, like I said. Just really nice textures. Kind of has a leathery look, and that front piece just looks amazing. Alright, so here we have kind of a mid shot with the arms. Again, the detail around the wrists, really, really super sick. The only thing that bugs me about the hands and the wrists, they've got the sculpting piece, and I'll kind of show this here in a minute, of the buttons, because in the movie, he's got this button that he presses on the fingers, and that's what makes him shrink and grow. They molded that on there, but they didn't paint them red. Which can be fixed with a little dab of red, but just one of the small things that kind of irks me on it. But around the belt on his waist, I mean, this looks really, really nice. All that silver and black brushing on it, the red dot there at the buckle, you know, the kind of leathery texture on the black suit itself, and just those wrist pieces look nice. And back there, we've even got red detail on his butt under the belt, and the spine's got the silver. I mean, they did a really good job with paint on this, and you know, that's exactly why I picked it up, because it looked that good. All right, finally, just kind of a look down at the bottom of the suit with the legs. Again, I like all the red detailing on the legs. I think that looks nice. The kind of leather and the boots. They did a really good job. And the wrinkles. Just lots of really good sculpted detail. And then, again, they didn't skimp out on the backside. There's even nice red paint apps on the back of the calves. I mean, they did a good job with this figure. Alright, so I just kind of wanted to try to show on the camera here. There is a little button. I don't know if it will be able to pick it up or not. But you can kind of see it. He's got the button sculpted onto the hand. They just didn't paint it, which, again, that can be easily fixed with a little dab of paint, but why go through so much trouble with the rest of the figure and then miss that one little detail? I don't get it. Alright, so I thought I'd go ahead and show off some detail with ant-ony and the little accessory pieces. I love how little tiny Ant-Man rides on him. It looks really cool, and again, for how tiny they are, they did a good job, I think, with the paint apps. The only thing is, I mean, there's no way you can stand them. And that's fine for Ant-Man, but the yellow jacket here, I got him riding on the back of ant-ony, which I'll probably end up doing that on the shelf. I mean, he has no hope of standing. He's just a flat little piece of gold and silver and black plastic. But, I mean, I appreciate the fact they put these little figures in there. The weird thing, though, is why they didn't do a yellow jacket figure for the line. Why didn't Ant-Man get his bad guy in the line? That's just kind of odd to me. For comparison, here we have Ant-Man next to Iron Man, Mark 43, and I think Iron Man's just a little bit taller, but Ant-Man looks a little bulkier, which is weird. I would think Iron Man would be the bulkier figure, but yeah, it is what it is. They look pretty cool together. Definitely going to make for a really nice Avengers shelf. And here we have Ant-Man next to the pizza-eating Spider-Man. Here's Ant-Man next to the Scarlet Witch, another Avenger and one of my favorite sculpts. And finally, here's Ant-Man next to Ghost Rider, who is a lot taller than he is, and that's okay. I kind of expect that out of Ghost Rider, being a spirit of vengeance and all. But yeah, this is another really great figure that has a lot of nice texture detail on the suit. Much like this Ant-Man figure, I really do appreciate that. Alright, so let's go ahead and show the size comparison of the little itty-bitties. Here we have the Yellow Jacket, Ant-Man, and Ant-ony next to a Transformers Q figure. This is Red Alert, and he's my smallest Transformer I've got, I think, and these things are just microscopic in comparison. Here we have them with Rocket Raccoon from the 3 3/4 inch line. I mean, and he's tiny. He might be 1.5 inches tall. He's probably about the same mass as ant-ony there. He's just, you know, upright. But Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket, so tiny compared to this guy. I mean, together, they don't even have the same mass that Rocket's gun has. And here we have them next to Groot that came with Rocket as Rocket's accessory. And they're still smaller than this guy. They might be close to the actual figure that's standing in the pot. But, I mean, looking at him, I think Groot's still bigger than the two of them. Even if you took the pot away. I mean, these are the smallest figures I've ever seen Marvel put out, and that's actually pretty impressive. So is Ant-Man a figure that you want in your Marvel collection? You know, I'm going to say yes, especially if you collect the movie line. This is a very well done figure. I love the sculpting, I love the paint applications, the joints are really nice, probably one of the better of the Marvel Legends figures I've seen. I mean, it's very stable, very cool, very similar to Ghost Rider. Both in texture design and in joint construction, which is nice. He comes with a lot of accessories. However, I will say, don't give this to a kid because they will swallow those little things in a minute. You know, and while I may rave like a fanboy on the quality of this figure, the two biggest drawbacks to me is the fact that the mask is completely wrong. I don't know why they did that. I just don't know. I have no explanation for it. Maybe we'll get a variation with the proper mask in the future. Who knows? Maybe a convention exclusive. I know the Marvel Select one does, but it's not in the right scale to the other Legends figures. The other thing is the lack of the red paint apps on the buttons on these fingers, which is easily fixed, but with all the other paint detail, you know, it kind of baffles me that they did that. The other thing is, it'd been nice if maybe we got a Yellow Jacket figure out of this line, or if that little Yellow Jacket, if the legs would kind of help it support up. I don't mind the fact that little tiny Ant-Man can ride Ant-Me, but there's no way to support the Yellow Jacket figure. That being said, it's a great figure. I really, really like it. So there he is, Ant-Man from Ant-Man. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And as always, look for more videos in the future.